Welcome to CTV News Your Canada. It's Thursday, September 18th. We'll bring you profiles of fascinating Canadians and stories about your community. Thanks for watching.
On a Tuesday night in Greeley, the church pews are empty, but the back room is full of volunteers woven together by purpose.
You can see over here where they're all doing it's just over and under, back and forth, one end to the other.
Turning milk bags, a lot of milk bags, into something that can make a real difference.
It is just providing a little bit of comfort, one bag at a time.
Comfort that comes in the form of sleeping mats, a lifeline for those without a bed to call their own.
There's a lot of people in the city sleeping rough, especially with it being summer. The shelters are over capacity, so people will be sleeping outside, and they'll use these mats instead of sleeping just on the bare ground.
It takes teamwork.
This is where it starts. The bags are flattened. There's 3 simple cuts done, so the bottom is cut off.
Then they're looped together before the weaving begins. And it takes about 450 milk bags to make just one mat. Since the initiative began 3 years ago, more than 430 mats have been woven, plus around 400 portable sitting pads.
It's the fact that we're helping people, and it's also helping the environment as well. It's multifaceted.
And that's no small feat. The group partners with Earth Hub, a local environmental group that collects the bags, diverting more than 460,000 from the landfill since 2019.
The interesting thing about milk bags is they actually have the recycling symbol on them, but milk bags are not accepted in the blue bin in Ottawa. So therefore, they would have to go to the landfill. So we're trying to reuse them first before they end up there.
A labor of love woven into every mat, transforming plastic pollution into compassion and comfort.
As long as there's a need, we're not stopping. And everybody here will tell you the same thing.
Caitlin Wilson, CTV News.
This young porcupine is on the mend at Hope for Wildlife after a disturbing discovery.
Very lucky to have survived it, very lucky.
She was found in the Lucasville area with an arrow in her back.
This particular arrow, it wasn't like a nice smooth one. It did have a bit of an edge to it.
Once she was brought in, the team got to work.
She was under anesthesia, so we sedated her, got her good pain meds, had her under gas anesthesia, and then took x-rays, determined kind of the location of the arrow, and then with some fine-tuning was able to pull it out.
Unfortunately, this isn't the first time Hope for Wildlife has dealt with an incident like this.
Obviously, we get animals in for all kinds of reasons, but we are seeing, 4 or 5 a year that have been shot with arrows, and it may not necessarily be a porcupine, but it does seem to often happen to the porcupines.
Last year, about 120 porcupines ended up here.
We see them a lot because they've been hit by cars, and a lot with mange.
People may see more of these creatures and other wildlife out and about over the next several weeks.
Mainly because of the forest fires, and there's so many animals that have been displaced that we're bound to see more. But just in general, this is the time of year that they're very hungry, and they want to get lots of meat on their bones for the cold winter.
As for what's next for this porcupine,
she's still not moving her tail a whole lot, which is our main concern, because that is a defense mechanism for porcupines. They need to be able to whip that tail around to protect themselves. So we're in the early stages now, though, so we'll give her some more time and on meds, and hopefully she'll regain that motor function back.
if all goes as planned, this little porcupine will be released back into the wild once she has fully recovered. Stephanie Seco, CTV News, Seaforth, Nova Scotia.
Getting up close with plants, animals, and arthropods.
Nature has always been my inspiration through my art growth, and part of my return to the art world.
Nathan Cole is the current artist in residence at the Cedar Ridge Creative Center in Scarborough. His work shines a light on the connections to the wilderness that surrounds us every day and the personal connection to his art and his own mental health journey.
And I realized nature was providing a lot of the healing that I needed to do from it, and just being out in nature and really tuning into my senses helped me heal.
The mixed material exhibition includes wood carvings, sculptures, watercolor, and a technique called scratchboard.
It's a masonite board covered in a white clay layer and black ink, and then I take metal quills, sometimes X-Acto knives or tattoo needles, and scratch away the surface gradually.
Etching away at the idea of connecting to the wild through art, with nature and animals captured from here at home and around the world.
Just kind of encouraging us to get out and explore and really create a sustainable landscape in Toronto and Canada.
Nature's diversity around us, rewilding through art, is free to attend. It will be here at the Cedar Ridge Creative Center through to September 24th. Jessica Smith, CTV News.
It's taken 2 years of hard work to research their find. Andre Mueller is a master's student at McGill University studying paleontology. He and the team from the university made a big discovery in 2023, finding a fossil of what they thought might be the back wing of a dragonfly.
I remember I was jumping up and down for about a couple days after that find. It's like, oh my gosh, this is the best find ever, and I'm just fully geeking out. But yeah, definitely morale was high that year, I'll say that.
Mueller headed the research project to identify the species of the prehistoric insect.
I set out going through basically every paper on dragonflies from this period in the world. Old Russian papers, like trying to translate everything I can. And no, this thing was completely different. No anatomy was like it.
Not only was it a new species, it's the first dragonfly found in all of Canada. Their research study was recently published in the Canadian Journal of Earth Sciences. And the team got to name their dragonfly and chose to name it after a University of Alberta scientist and entomologist.
So we named the dragonfly Cordoaladensa acorni. Cordoaladensa meaning densely winged cordelid, which is the kind of dragonfly it's related to, and acorni after John Acorn.
Mueller says the big dinosaurs like T-Rex get all the attention, but he says it's the smaller creatures and plants that help scientists develop a better understanding of what the prehistoric ecosystem looked like. The team from McGill returned to Dinosaur Provincial Park this last season and to the exact same spot where they found the dragonfly fossil, in the hopes of finding more leaf fossils and insect fossils. Kevin Fleming, CTV News, Drumheller.
It's the first major competition in Canada in over 30 years.
The Atlantic International Challenge is being hosted at the Windsor Lawn Bowling Club starting Saturday.
Lawn bowls is a very easy game to play. It is very hard to be good, and these guys are the best in the world, so it's really cool to have them here.
Team Canada was on the green this morning, and the players like the facility.
Windsor's been great. Our very first national competition, Windsor hosted, so that was 4 years ago. The volunteers here are lovely, and yeah, it's a great club. I love it here.
Just having the first roll up this morning, and the greens are really good, so they'd be one of the best in Canada. So a little bit slower than Australia, but they're nice and true. So.
Ryan Bester is the top male lawn bowler in Canada, but lives in Australia. He says if you want to play hockey, you stay in Canada. If you want to play bowls, you go to Australia.
They can play 12 months of the year. They love sport, the best climate for the greens, and they probably have about 230,000 members who play bowls in Australia.
Ireland, Scotland, and a team from the U.S. will be part of the Four Nation tournament. Official practice day is Friday, with the opening ceremony taking place at 4 p.m.
I've only been bowling now for 4 years, so it's exciting to get to see other countries.
Historically, Scotland's probably one of the top 2 nations in the world, and Ireland's in the top 5. So it's really good for Canada.
Good for Canada, good for the city of Windsor to have players of that caliber here in town. Now, after the tournament, some of the players are staying to play in the Azairs International Pro-Am next Thursday and Friday.
I'll say it's a tremendous honor to have this bridge named after him, because now every time Montrealers cross it, they will think of the Habs legend. Lafleur spent 14 seasons with the Canadiens in the 1970s and 1980s, winning 5 Stanley Cups. He lived on Île Bizard for 22 years before he died at the age of 70 a few years ago. On hand for today's announcement was his son Martin, who said his father would have been extremely proud of this recognition.
He wouldn't have believed that he would get this honor if he was alive today. He wouldn't have believed it. So it's just a great recognition. He was a great citizen. He helped out a lot.
His number 10 is retired by the Canadiens, and he won several individual awards as a player. But according to his former teammates that were also there this afternoon, having the Île Bizard Bridge named after him is a step above what most hockey players are used to.
I grew up in an era where Guy Lafleur was at the top of his game, and having the chance to be drafted and having a chance to play with him a little bit, you know, and knowing him personally and having the chance to spend time with him over the years. I think it's a great honor to go on this bridge and having his name on it.
Lafleur is one of the most iconic Montreal Canadiens of all time, but this recognition in particular certainly has more to do with the work he did in this community with the younger generation of hockey players.
I'm Stacy Bergheim, and I am a tree nerd.
Stacy Bergheim is an expert in trees. She works at the Forest Genetics Lab at the University of Alberta.
So this is the ginkgo biloba tree. It's native to China. It's considered to be a living fossil because it actually has not changed that much in the last 29 million years.
The university is home to 50 species of trees, both native and from around the world.
It is native to the Middle East and Russia. It's a Russian olive. It's got this beautiful gray, green foliage.
This is Alberta's provincial tree, the lodgepole pine.
It's a pretty important economic tree for Alberta's forestry.
And Canada's national tree, the sugar maple.
This is the tree that gets tapped to get maple syrup from.
The trees are also part of the curriculum for forestry students who use them to learn how to identify different kinds.
Then the students can learn about trees that are maybe not native to Alberta's forests. Maybe they're from Eastern Canada or elsewhere in the world, but we now have exposure for our students to those trees.
I do notice the trees, yeah. I'm a forester, so I really like American elm, these ones right here.
The university is hosting guided tours this weekend. Bergheim says she hopes this gets students and staff to not take the trees for granted.
When you're walking through campus, if you're not looking up, you're probably not seeing each tree. You feel how those trees make you feel better and they look beautiful, but they're not maybe identifying and looking at a specific tree and saying, oh, that particular tree is beautiful.
The tours are free and open to the public. Naramnisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
It was an amazing ending to the Amazing Race Canada.
Jesse and Jonathan, woo! I'm so proud to tell you that you have won. Are you ready for this?
The eventual winners, Jesse and Jonathan, outlasted their competition on a cross-country race that made a stop in our backyard for the finale. This moment was shot at Osler Bluff Ski Club.
And this double roebuck?
That's the Collingwood Grain Terminal. And fans of the show who were in Collingwood today noticed the local connection, which also included a stop at Valley Ridge Family Farm.
Great to see like special local spots being showcased.
It's just so energizing and exciting for our community.
Collingwood was one of several local locations used as a stop in the show, and the mayor hopes it brings more visitors to the town.
I think productions like this, you know, a finale of a show that's watched widely, will spark a lot of tourism interest for maybe people who've heard how great our community is.
It was very hard, I must admit, to keep a secret for that many months, but it was well worth it in the end.
Karen Ferry's apple orchard was also one of the stops in the finale.
They had to bob for apples. The apples all had stickers with numbers on it, and they had to come up with a count of exactly 100.
To be able to showcase what is one of our favorite things to do, get outside, have an adventure across the nation, it's pretty spectacular.
We still have to take this all in and figure that out. Definitely going on some trips soon. We definitely want to go on a celebration trip together.
Now, filming for this season's Amazing Race ran from April until May. It covered 5 provinces and 1 territory and 19,000 kilometers. If you missed the season finale, you can always go to Crave or ctv.ca. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Collingwood.
For decades, the sound of bottles clanging has been the soundtrack inside St. John's Moosehead Brewery.
We're very proud of our past, but we're always focused on our future and focused on what we need to do next to keep earning the trust and the support of beer drinkers.
By year's end, Moosehead will stop producing bottled beer and focus exclusively on cans and kegs. Moosehead President and CEO Andrew Olin says the decision reflects the times. According to Moosehead, just 7% of beer drinkers in Canada are twisting off a bottle cap, compared to 85% who are cracking open a can. The amount of can consumers has increased by 20% in the last 5 years alone.
When my great-great-great-grandmother, Susanna Olin, started brewing beer in 1867, we only sold it in kegs. And we didn't start selling in bottles till 1933, and then cans came in the mid-1950s. This will give us time, an opportunity in the years to come to look at either larger cans or smaller cans.
Let's go moonlighting. The bottles have been iconic over the company's years, whether it be the classic green bottle or the old-style stubby. Bottling up that area of production wasn't a decision made lightly by Canada's oldest brewery.
I go back to sort of when we first started talking about it in 2019, and I remember like, that'll never happen. And then you get more and more comfortable with these decisions, and who knows what Moosehead will be selling beer in 50 years from now, but it'll all be the great beer that we brew here at Moosehead.
The company intends to expand its canning capability at the plant. The final bottle run will happen in December and stay on shelves until they're out. To celebrate the end of the bottling era, Moosehead is offering the chance for one lucky fan to take home the final bottle ever made at the brewery. The winner of an online contest, which closes October 27th, will be selected to witness the final production run and take home the last ever bottle directly off the line. Have to admit, it's a neat little piece of Canadian brewing history to be had. Avery McRae, CTV News, St. John.
What was once an idea is now a reality. Pasqua First Nation is now the proud owner of a senior care home established to improve the quality of life for an important portion of their population. It's a facility already getting positive reviews from those who now call the Red Eagle Lodge home.
Feeling that secure, safe environment, they're close to home. This is, you know, they all speak very highly of the way that staff treat them.
Talks for the care home began in 2009. Since then, a number of steps were taken, including consultations with Pasqua members who would possibly use the home on their needs and wants from a senior care center.
We're all facing the same issues on all of our nations regarding our older population and having a safe space for them. And I'm thankful that we're able to provide this for our relatives.
The Red Eagle Lodge currently has 12 residential suites, with half of them currently filled. Those living in the facility have access to a gym, saunas, a theater room, a hair salon, as well as 24/7 clinical staff and on-site security. Also, built around the property are smaller homes meant for independent living. Irvin Pasqua has been living at the Red Eagle Lodge since July. He is happy to be back on Pasqua after spending years in other senior care homes.
I've been gone for 40 years, and I finally come home now. I'm happy to be home here. I'm proud to be home now, anyway.
Special consideration is now being given to members of Pasqua First Nation. Leadership say if there is room at any time, the door is always open for non-members. The Red Eagle Lodge Care Center is intended to serve generations of seniors to come.
To me, you know, if you have the vision and the desire, there's nothing that can stop you from moving forward as a First Nation. And that's how our leadership think. We're constantly thinking of the future.
Mick Fable, CTV News, Pasqua First Nation.
For 19-year-old Brexton Fox, being a part of a brand new SJHL team launch is not lost on him.
It's pretty exciting. I mean, it's a new team, new year. Obviously, with fellas, we just kind of got our team put together, so looking forward to the crowd opening night.
And that's Friday for the first home opener, but it's not just what's going to be happening on the ice that's being prepared.
Quite literally all hands on deck this week, and we joked about how this is going to be the most stressful week of the year because this was really a startup. We started this team. We bought a franchise, but we started a business. We started a team from the ground up.
These co-owners pitching in, putting finishing touches on the rink, making sure the 1,200 plus fans who will fill this rink get their money's worth.
It's been just super the way the town has come around and said, hey, we'll buy tickets, we'll come out. We've sold out for this game already, obviously. We're looking hopefully at doing some standing room seats only.
Even the mayor, who has already gotten his Wolverines jersey, is ready.
It is really the only junior A hockey in the area. We'd have to go to Humboldt or North Battleford to get the closest teams beyond us. So really, we invite all the area to come to this.
And the team buzz is real, with merchandise a hot commodity.
The rink will be filled with people wearing jerseys as well as our hoodies. We've already had to do a restock on our merchandise, all of our sweaters, t-shirts.
She tells us the home games are going to feel like a WHL game with a huge screen for replays and a light and fog show.
I think even if you don't necessarily like hockey yet, the show that will happen on our game days will be enough to draw you in and keep you coming back.
With fans also in mind for this forward, he thinks they'll like what they see from the players also.
Oh, we'll see opening night, but right now I think we're all pretty confident about what we can do.
Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Warman.
Camera captures Curran Dobbs from behind.
You're behind me 100%.
He feels compelled to comment.
You got my back.
And if we go back to the beginning of his story...
Well, I've always been a bit of a punster.
But while he was always smiling in pictures as a child, Curran says he was feeling depressed and worthless by his early teens.
It was very lonely, and I had a hard time making friends at all.
Curran found some comfort in music before learning strategies to connect with others after being diagnosed with autism. But nothing compared to being cast in a high school production playing a comedic role.
That felt great. That was amazing, getting the laughs.
Curran discovered he could befriend kids through laughter and eventually asked a local promoter about doing amateur stand-up.
He said, sure, I'll put you on my show. It's in 5 days. Write a set.
Curran was terrified. He'd never actually written a joke before, but he found that the process of planning out an interaction with the public was reassuring and faced his fear.
Good evening, ladies.
Curran got a few laughs that first night, and now, after more than a decade of doing stand-up professionally, has earned countless more.
I'm on the autistic spectrum, so if I seem rude or impolite, or if I'm not making eye contact, I just want you to know it's because I really feel like you're not worth the effort. You hear the laughter. Value, talent.
Well, after earning national attention for making it to the semifinals on Canada's Got Talent,
every joke worked, every line worked.
Curran now considers his autism and the unique perspective of the world it offers to be a comedic superpower.
There's a bit of a cost, but then there's also that gift that comes with it.
Which is why, if he could go back in time and comfort his younger self, he'd say, never give up.
You're better than you think you are, or if you ain't yet, you will be.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, Saanich.